Hello out there on YouTube and Facebook. I'm Robert Gillio from Gene Oklahoma. For those of you who might not know where that's at, it's about halfway between Dallas and Oklahoma City and about 6 miles east of I-35. It's named for the singing cowboy himself because he owned a ranch here in the late 30s, 40s, and 50s. To me, rule number one of riding a motorcycle, be it it's two-wheeled, three-wheeled, and really and truthfully, we should include four-wheelers in that, is leave your ego at home. Most generally, I'm a very conservative motorcycle rider, but once in a great while, there is an exception to that rule. On September 15th of 2020, I was traveling Colorado and I get to Rocky Mountain National Park. I got there about 1:45 only to find out you had to have a reservation, and without it you couldn't get in until 5 p.m. So I sat there about 3 hours, and once 5 o'clock arrived, I headed through the gate, and another couple of riders actually got in a shorter line to the right and got ahead of me. I managed to catch up with them. Now, most people claim that you cannot keep up with a two-wheeled motorcycle with a Can-Am Spyder. My view on that is it depends on what kind of motorcycle it is. You take the cafe racers, as I've called them since I was a teenager. Uh, no way. You're just not going to be able to do it because of the way those cafe racers can maneuver and handle compared to a Can-Am Spyder. In this case, it was two touring bikes. Brand doesn't matter. What mattered was a Honda, a Yamaha, a Kawasaki, a Harley Davidson. It wouldn't have mattered in this respect. I believe I could have kept up with them just fine, and I did. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and split the video on this, and I'm going to speed it up by 3 times, only to shorten the length of the video. Maybe add a little bit to it, 'cause it's like you're going faster and everything than you really are. But I'm doing it to shorten the duration of the video. Once I get down there about where they pull off at, I'll slow the video back down. Now, I've had my Can-Am Spyder about 2 years. I've been to Colorado on the Can-Am twice. I've been on some other windy roads in Oklahoma and Texas, New Mexico. The only modification I've had to the steering suspension has been the removal of the stock sway bar and replacing it with a Baja sway bar. To me, that greatly improved the handling. You can tell it on a curve. You get on these roads that are rutted out, has kind of a tendency to just all of a sudden pull you one way or the other. Uh, Seems like you have a lot more control. I went on some places where there were dips, let's say in the right-hand lane, where previously it would try to pull me. Now I know I went across the dip, but it didn't seem to have that pulling effect. So I love the ball run sway bar on this Can-Am Spyder. Now, as far as the uh, distance that we were on this very twisty, curving part of the Rocky Mountain National Park Highway, Highway 34, I believe it is, uh, I really didn't keep track of that. But there were quite a few curves, as you can see. I didn't have any issues staying up with these two people on these motorcycles. Now, we finally get to a turnout down the road, and they decide to pull off. I don't think they were going to park and take a look over at the side. I really truthfully think that they were tired of being pursued by a Spyder. Now, by all means, I'm not recommending to anybody to try and do this. I'm just simply saying I wanted to see if it could be done, and I did it. I had never been on this road in Rocky Mountain National Park. I had been to Estes Park, to Loveland, a couple of times, once by car, once by motorcycle. The Can-Am that I'm on in this. Okay, we're coming up on that point where I slow the video back down to its original speed because we're fixing to come up on that pull-off. I commend these two riders for staying in there and hanging in on it on them curves. I do believe if I was on a two-wheel motorcycle, turn bike, and all of a sudden I look back there and there's a Can-Am Spyder RT and it stayed up with me like this, I think I'd find me a spot to pull off at too, because I think I'd need to rest for a minute. 'Cause leaning them motorcycles in them curves does take some work. Thank you for watching my video. Y'all be safe out there in your travels, and if you ever get the chance, go to Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado.